I know there are many guys, especially in the United States, who are eyeing for the Philippines for their permanent place of stay. And I also know that most of these guys are either retired already or they are going to retire and now thinking of changing places for several different reasons. But there are also other men, not only in the US by the way, also living in other Western countries, who are considering the Philippines. And now they asked, or they might ask themselves, yeah, how can I finance myself inside the Philippines? And this is the topic of today's video. How difficult is it really to find or to get a job in the Philippines? And I'm talking professional jobs, not unskilled jobs like, I don't know, being a waiter at McDonald's. Yeah? Because I have managed to secure a job in the Philippines a few years ago, and I want to share my experience here today. How did it go, and how the whole process actually went. So we are talking about how I managed to get this job. Was it difficult for me to get a job in the Philippines? How long did it take? What steps did I take? Yeah? And also, does it make sense at all to look for a job in the Philippines? Huh? Because many people say there are no jobs in the Philippines. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about today. I also can let you know right away that in order to being employed in the Philippines as a foreigner, you need an employment permit and a work visa. Okay, so long story short, you need a sponsor, and the sponsor is the employer, the future employer. They need to sponsor you in the Philippines. You need a work visa and a permit if you wanna work, earn money in the Philippines. If in case you want to move to the Philippines, but you don't need a job because you're rich, you're wealthy, maybe you make millions of dollars in the Philippines, or you're already retired, or you are someone who is thinking of moving to the Philippines without a job, but still needs help with visa issues and immigration matters, then there's another great service here I actually want to mention quickly. This service is called Filipino Visa, and they will help and assist you with their full service immigration service. Yeah? They are reliable, fast, and provide premium visa assistance for guys who wanna permanently move to the Philippines and retire there, but also the other way around. If, let's say, you are a guy from America and you're married, you're Filipina now, and you both want to move back to the States, you want to bring your Filipina wife to the United States, then also this visa service called Filipino Visa, they will also assist you with these matters. They take care of consultations, in-person assistance in the Philippines. They handle all the document preparation. They even take care of travel and hotel arrangements and many other things. So this is really the only visa service I would recommend if you apply for a spousal and a fiancé visas. Yeah, the link is in the description. Check it out. I'm quite sure it's super helpful. So now back to my story. I've talked about this in other videos. I will link them here. You can watch these videos where I was talking about my arrival in the Philippines, how it all started, my first girlfriend I had, and this and that, and blah blah blah. And I also released a video about my business venture in the Philippines, which failed miserably. And this is how it started. In 2017, I arrived in the Philippines with a big bunch of plans, and I was super motivated. And then, long story short, after just a few months, I lost money I got scammed, and yeah, here I was. But I didn't want to leave the Philippines, so but I needed money. I needed to earn some money. I wasn't completely broke at the time, but I was thinking already in advance, and was proactive. So I was thinking, actually, still when I was kind of running this business, I was thinking already, how can I make more money, and what kind of job could I do in the Philippines, because that at the time already was a tough call, So I'm a chef, professional chef, professionally trained, and that's what I thought, let's apply at some culinary schools here in Manila. That was my idea, because I worked not only as a chef, obviously, but also as a culinary lecturer in Indonesia before. So I had some experience with that already. I liked it, I like to share my knowledge and skills with especially the young folks. So I sent out 10 applications to various culinary institutes in Manila area. And out of the 10 applications I sent, I got only 3 replies, basically from schools who acknowledged my application. But only one institute was inviting me for an interview. So I went there, and it was the Enderon College for Filipinos who live in Manila, especially in the BGC area. They probably know that college. It's one of the great colleges. It's also one of the most expensive ones in the Philippines. Enderon College, it's a hospitality college, and also you can study culinary arts and some other stuff, business administration, I believe. But anyway, so they contacted me, and the Enderon College at the time was working together with another non-profit organization. It's called the Tuloy Foundation, located in Alabang, close to Manila. And this is where I actually ended up working as a culinary lecturer at the Tuloy Foundation. Just quickly, I want to talk about the Tuloy Foundation a little bit here, not too long, but just to give you an idea and introduce the whole thing. Yeah, the Tuloy Foundation is a non-profit organization already in place for almost 30 years, or more than 30 years actually, run by a Catholic priest. His name is Father Rocky, and his team. And they take care of underprivileged children, let's call it like this, okay? And these are children who coming from poor families, disturbed families. I think some or even many of the kids are also orphans, So long story short, Father Rocky and his team at the Tuloy Foundation, they provide shelter, they provide education, food, and many different kinds of activities. And offering culinary arts as a class at the Tuloy Foundation was where I came into play, because they were looking for support, and I was offering my support. And so this is how our collaboration got going at the Tuloy Foundation. I can tell you, I've done several lecturer jobs in Malaysia and Indonesia, but the experience at the Tuloy Foundation was something totally different. It was really an inspiring experience to work with these kids. They were around, in my class we had like 14, 15 students maybe. Most of them were female, and they were like 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, not older, And that was really, really one of the best experiences ever. To also see how these young kids learn motivation, and it's very hard to explain. I don't want to make this video so long here, but I can tell you I get goosebumps even today when I think back. These kids inspired me so much, and I could see what a fantastic job Father Rocky and his team was doing there at the time. Yeah? How he inspired, and still is today, how he inspired and motivates these young children and kids to end up on the right track of life, you know, not end up in criminality or end up in gangs or in violence or any other kind of that crazy stuff, you know. And that was really inspiring to me. I learned a lot from these Filipino kids, believe it or not. I'm talking about their attitude and their mentality. That was really, really inspiring to learn, and it was a great pleasure to work there. I was not the only professional or Western expat who worked there. The Tuloy Foundation also was collaborating and still is with other professionals, you know, from all kinds of different fields, you know, and also the Miss Philippines. The Miss Philippines, they are also frequent guests there and help out and all that kind of stuff. So great experience. And the Tuloy Foundation, together with their sponsors, they have a lot of donors and sponsors, also really wealthy people who support this organization. It's not a small organization. They have like 3, 4, maybe even 500 or even more children to take care of. It's a huge complex, you know. They need a lot of money. So anyway, they sponsored me. They fixed the work permit for me, the visa and stuff. And I remember the cost at the time was around 20,000 peso, which is probably around $400 or something like that. And you need an AEP, which is an alien employment permit, and your work visa, obviously. Yeah. So now the big question is, how much did you earn, Marcel? Tell us about your salary. And yeah, I will tell you. I received 6,000 libo peso. And I try to tell this in Tagalog right now. And 6,000 libo peso is 60,000 peso actually. I don't want to make it too exciting here. 60,000 peso, this is what they paid me per month at the time. So that is roughly $1,000 US. At the time it was a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, $1,100 US per month. 60,000 pesos, 60K per month. Of course, this was an adjusted salary because they knew my experience and what I did before. And I knew beforehand, before I even was hired, that they would pay me a, let's say, adequate amount, an adequate salary. Yeah. So was it enough money for me? At the time, actually it was enough money. Yeah, $1,100 US. If you manage your finances very well, then you can manage as a single guy. Yeah, I remember I lived in an apartment complex at the time near. I forgot the place. It's near Malate. And I had a small apartment there. I rented it for like $180 per month, you know. But brand new building. They just brought it up, you know. I was a first-in mover. I moved in there and nobody else lived there before. So $180 per month. And so $1,100 US was enough at the time actually, but it was an adjusted salary. It was not a local salary because I know when I received my salary, it was a cash payment, I believe, or they transferred it. I think they transferred it, but anyway, I had to go to the finance department. I had to sign my name that I received the money. And I could see also the other people who signed all the stuff. And at the time I couldn't help, but I could see what the other people earned per month. And they earned a lower salary than I did. Yeah. 20,000 peso, maybe 25,000 pesos per month, depending on their position. But I earned 60,000 because of my previous experience. Yeah. Of course, as a chef, as a professional chef, or even as a professional culinary lecturer, when you work, if I would have worked for the Enderon College, for example, I would have gotten way more money. But for me, that was fine because, again, you remember, my business kind of failed. I got ripped off and I needed cash. So that was okay for me. So now you know what I earned. Yeah. Yeah. Is it easy to find a job in the Philippines? I don't think so. Yeah. I hear from other guys who live there, they say it's literally impossible to find a job. I don't know. I think in my industry, in the hospitality industry, it's still possible to find jobs. I know that. I know people who work there. Yeah. As a chef or as a general manager for some 5-star hotel. In the hospitality industry, it's still possible, but there are not plenty of jobs. Yeah. You have to know, if you have like 2 million overseas Filipino workers working in the Middle East, in Southeast Asia, in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, Bahrain, blah, 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 you name it. If you have more than 2 million of these overseas Filipino workers sacrificing their life for their families, if they have to move abroad out of the Philippines, then you can already imagine the job situation inside the Philippines. And if it is so hard and difficult for Filipinos to find proper jobs inside the Philippines, you can do the math. Nobody is waiting for you as a Western expat to give you a well-paid job. Again, physical jobs, might be possible in some industries, hospitality industry, for example. But nowadays we have the internet, right? And if you work online, if you are a digital nomad, then we don't need to talk about it, then it's a different story, right? I also hear there are job opportunities for Westerners in the mining field, mining and construction. I don't know about that. I don't know if this is true or not. Yeah. So that's my experience. This is how I managed to get a job. I try to stay in my field. I sent out 10 applications. I took it very serious, and I guess I also was lucky. I just was lucky because at the time they needed a culinary lecturer. That was just the right timing. Other than that, I also applied at 5-star hotels in Manila, but to no avail. Not because I was not qualified enough or not experienced enough. There was basically no demand at the time. So I consider it sheer luck at the time that I was lucky to receive this job opportunity. Yeah, and that's it. Other than that, and that's why I'm so happy and grateful today to state and say that I know how it is to work. I know how it is to work inside the Philippines. Many Westerners don't know that. They just come as a tourist or, But it's okay, But I was one of the lucky ones who had a real job, actually well paid for local circumstances. Of course, as a professional chef, I can make way more money, but for me, it was sufficient at the time, and I was just happy to have a job at all, right? And other than that, I would say, to conclude this video, listen to the other YouTubers' advice, the other guys especially the American guys who live in the Philippines, who retired there already. Many of them say, don't waste the time looking for a job. Have your finances in order before you come to the Philippines. Have your ducks all in a row, in a nice straight row. Have your ducks all lined up in a row. Have your financial matters sorted out. Don't speculate on financing yourself while you're inside the Philippines. Yeah. Have everything ready to go before you enter the Philippines. There are terrible stories out there of expats who suffered great misery, who ended up broke. Okay, this is also due to their character and mentality, but there are many guys who took it too easy, and thought, I arrive with a bunch of savings and then let's see what I can do. Maybe I start a YouTube channel and I make some ad revenue. I could go on and on. This will not work out for most of the guys. It will only work out if you are smart, if you come prepared, especially with your finances, and you have income going. If you have income coming in the Philippines, not from a job, forget about this, but from other sources, from your investments, or from a business you're still running outside of the Philippines, or from your retirement scheme, right? That's the right and common sense and logical way to do in the Philippines. And if you are ready to move to the Philippines, if you are ready to retire and you need assistance and help, then please don't forget to check out Filipino Visa. The link is in the description. They will help you with all your legal matters when it comes to your retirement and settlement in the Philippines. And with that being said, I'm checking out for today. Thanks for watching. And let me know what you think. Have you had the chance to work in the Philippines? If yes, in what kind of field and what kind of industry? How did you like it? Or have you tried to secure a job in the Philippines, but it was impossible because there were no jobs in your industry? Or are you still interested to find a job in the Philippines, but now say, thanks Marcel for sharing, but I will not continue to waste my time any longer? Anyway, let us know in the comment sections, and then I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care, bye bye.